This is going to be a very short video, mostly because it's just something I left out and I wanted to explain what I missed. In my previous video about converting novels into raw image data, if you haven't checked it out, the link is on the top right. I say the text of the Picture of Dorian Gray looks exactly like random static. I wasn't entirely wrong about that, but looking back at the video, I missed a tiny subtle detail that completely changes the picture. If you stare really closely at the original generated image, there are these faint dark streaks cutting horizontally across the noise. I totally missed them at first glance, but once you actually see them, you realize there is a physical pattern hiding in the static. Something was interrupting the data. I had to know what it was. So I wrote a Python script to blow the image up to an 8K resolution and draw the exact 3 text characters onto every single pixel. I zoomed all the way in one of those dark scars to actually read it. It wasn't a hidden message from Oscar Wilde, it was actually this. The text, the Picture of Dorian Gray. I had copied the raw text from a PDF, and every time the page turned, the clipboard grabbed the page number and the book's title in all caps. And the reason these specific headers stood out so aggressively comes down to how computers actually count. In ASCII, uppercase letters have lower numeric values than lowercase ones. Capital letters sit in the 65 to 90 range, while lowercase letters are up in the 90s and hundreds. Because RGB color values treat 0 as black and 255 as white, a long string of all caps text physically renders as a heavy, dark block. Now, every time that PDF header repeated, it left a dark visual scar right across the image. To fix it, I wrote a cleanup script, where I stripped out the headers, deleted the formatting garbage, and forced the entire book into lowercase just to keep the baseline completely simple and flat. And when I ran the image generator again, the data finally hit its maximum entropy. The patterns actually vanished, and the image became totally indistinguishable from pure random generated noise compared to the one generated from the Python random library. Seeing those literal lines of text disrupt the static is a visual representation of how structure fights against disorder. And there's so much you can do with this stuff when you start looking at entropy not just as a physics concept, but as a physical shape of language and data. And that is all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.